Hello and welcome to the most scuffed the music at the start of the stream has been, because I had to post to Blue Sky and this game does not continue to play in the background when I tab out. Hi friends! It's a late night Clair Obscur stream, and yes, we are back in the office after I've just spent a day out. We've been at a friend's improv show. Got streams on the brain now. And yeah, we went at a friend's improv show. He was staying here last night. And yeah, we just went out and had a roast and it was lovely. But we back. And I have to find out what's going on in this game. So we're going to continue Clair Obscur Expedition 33. At the last count, we are in the manor with a character who the game on the load screen seems to think is Mael. But we now currently know to be Alicia. We completed Act 2 at the end of the last stream, so spoilers for everything that happens after that, I guess. We are in this room speaking to somebody who has been identified as Claire, and the people standing over there are motionless, which is possibly the scariest thing. But if you look around this room, there are so many incredible environmental details. That's obviously the Axon Visage. That's the Axon that we don't know about that seems to be like holding up a city, sort of Atlas style. That is the Axon Sirene. This seems to be a Clair Obscur. And there are so many... There's a bed here as well. Somebody's been sleeping in this room. The dog is here, of course. The dog is here. Why would not the dog be here? Really interesting, some of this. Just the little details. And this amorphous painting, plus, yeah, statues of Renoir and this woman who we presume is Alina, assuming that is the paintress's name. Also, if this is concept art for the game that the actual devs made, like the actual art team made, incredible work. That's a scary image right there. And little flower boxes and stuff, and mannequins, as though gestrels are invoked here and involved. Interesting. All right, let's talk.
Our parents are quite the stubborn pair.
Another sister.
They're still fighting each other inside the canvas.
They're fighting each other inside the canvas. Wait.
He has her imprisoned at the top of the monolith, and she has him trapped beneath. It's a stalemate.
So that's Renoir at the bottom of it. Did you see Verso? I'm worried they've been inside the canvas for so long. So they've created the world that we were playing in, for all we can tell.
They've spent longer than this in other canvases. It's not that dire.
So she can communicate her thoughts, I guess.
Yes, I know. Maman's been in there for quite a while already. And Renoir is wasting time in there, trying to help someone who doesn't want his help. We have more urgent matters to attend to.
What is this?
You're as bad as Aline. He's not Verso. He's a painted copy built from our mother's memories. You do well to remember that.
Yeah, so this is what I was thinking about Renoir and Verso since the last stream, because they both have the scar, and it's like, some people have pointed this out, I didn't really clock this, but it kind of looks like it is made of black paint, and it's like damaged paint. Really interesting detail. So the two of them are, yeah, painted copies. They're effectively Nevrons, but with the memories that their mother has. But, like, Alina here is named, but isn't necessarily their mother. Necessarily. Like, it's difficult to piece it together at this point. I know that I'm not a child.
Roll your eyes at me, sister dear. I know you're not a child, but you're not grown either. And too many in our family have lost all caution and sense of late. Help her do what? run away and hide. She's already succeeded there.
So the fact that they are fighting each other inside this painting, what does that mean for them?
Honestly, if Aline wants to numb herself in the canvas...
Okay, so Aline...
then let her.
Is their mother, okay.
Grief is no excuse.
She's one of those kids who refers to their mum by her first name.
She's a grown woman, and she was the head of the Painters' Council. She failed her responsibilities. I don't have time to coddle her. And before Verso died, she would have said the same.
Right, so Verso is dead, yeah. Like, they've been saying that sort of the whole time. And so... the painted copy of Verso who we've been playing as identified one of the other Axons as Verso? Or maybe, like, something he experienced when the mask was over his head was something about Verso?
I already have. Aline is more skilled than Renoir, but I've tipped the scales in his favor.
What? How?
I have my pets in place. She who controls chroma controls the canvas. I can't take her chroma, but I can keep it from returning to her. Yes, it's enough. It's just a matter of time. As she weakens, Renoir is able to erase her oldest creations.
Right, so everything in the painting is getting erased, and that's what the gommage is. They're literally like... they're fighting each other inside this world that they've created, but they created it with, like, the events of the shattering. Like, the world didn't actually exist before this. It's just been painted with all of this as detail.
With the exception of her obscene fake family. She's made them immortal, but luckily, they're also quite useless.
And when she's talking about Renoir, she's talking about the Curator, and the version of Renoir we've been fighting is one that was created by the Paintress. Oh, Rob, if you're if you're diving into the game at this point, none of this has any context and is probably a massive spoiler. But if you want to check out the game, I fully recommend it. Hi, by the way, lovely to see you. Yeah, it's a trip. This game is wild, and it's a turn-based JRPG with parry mechanics, which makes it very, very fun for me. Let's conclude.
I need you to take care of yourself while I'm gone.
Where are you going, though?
Don't be naive. The world doesn't stop simply because our family is in mourning. The conflict is spreading, and there are things I must do if we painters are to survive.
Right. Conflict?
You will do nothing. You're too weak to do anything useful. You'd be a liability. The writers used you against us once before.
The writers?
They won't hesitate to use you again.
Oh my god, really, dude?
And I can't promise that I'll make the same choice Verso made.
And it's the writers versus the painters? Oh my gosh, what is this?
Verso traded his life for yours. I both love and hate him for that. The damn fool.
It's art versus literature, dude. Tale as old as time. I mean, what?
Although, if you really want to be useful, then enter the canvas and help Renoir. I need him back here sooner rather than later.
Right, so that's when
I'll fight
she
this war
enters
alone if I have to.
our story?
I'd really rather not.
And is there with the mask on and
Can
everything?
you handle that? Lest you forget, the only reason those two are in there is because your naivety cost Verso his life.
I mean, alright, that's a lot, but okay.
Good. Go to the canvas when you're ready, and repaint your throat when you're in there, before you completely forget how to have a conversation.
Dang, harsh. Also, are you floating? No, okay. I was like, is your foot, like, off the ground for a second there?
Lest you forget. Good. And
Go to the canvas when you're ready. I'm not ready. I want to explore more of the manor in this state. I'm genuinely curious if there's anything else going on. Like, we can't get to the... yeah, the secret passage is closed off. Obviously, there's, like, the flowers everywhere and whatnot. Can I leave via the main door at all? Nothing for me outside these doors. In Paris? Paris actually gets name dropped. I must speak with Claire. She's in Papa's Atelier. Yeah, I mean, we did that. She was not helpful. Okay, and that's all blocked off. Right. Okay. Because, yeah, I don't know how many of these... I don't think these are the same paintings that are there in the manor in the painted version. But these are all, like, scenes from other locations in the game. What song does she play on the piano? Excellent question. I think that's the same one Mael plays. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's slightly different. There's also Claire's Harp, Maman's piano. Okay. Oh, she misses Verso, hearing Verso play. Oh, I'm glad I came back for that little detail. I would love if we could pick up the accordion, dude. Are you kidding me? No, okay, we need to go to the canvas then, huh? So she inserts herself into this painting in order to help Renoir. Verso's childhood canvas where we used to play? Where he painted Esquier and Monoko. Of course, because, like, in Verso's room, there was an Esquier, like, doll, and there were gestrels. Claire's right, it's my fault. I should help fix this, and I want to fix this. I do, if I can. Verso would have. And it would be nice to talk and breathe again without pain, right? Yeah. Oh, does she become Mael if she enters the canvas? Is that how that happens?
If we bring Maman out of the canvas, she'll try to return. We must hide the canvas.
Well reasoned. And such a clever hiding spot you've chosen. She'll still find it, but I'm impressed.
And when we defeat the Paintress clocks Mael as Alicia.
This only truly ends if you destroy the canvas. And that means stopping the final sliver of Verso's soul from painting.
So Verso has put part of his soul into the canvas, but he's dead now. On the surface of her eye became the canvas for a second. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. And now she's floating kind of like
That wasn't so hard.
Mael was floating?
Wait, that's Aline's chroma. Stay calm. Don't let it take control of you. Calm, Alicia, or it'll paint over you. What an auspicious start. Well, you're about to be reborn in this world as one of Aline's creations. Have fun.
And there's this... Does she become
At
Mael
least this will keep you out of trouble until I get back.
then? Okay, we get... Oh, it all gets, like, retracted. Because there was the whole thing at the end where Alicia gives Verso the letter and is like, what will Mael paint? Right. Yes. So Mael's family was...
She's a girl.
real.
She's a girl. She's beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
What a lovely voice. My love, did you decide on a name?
Yes. Oh, my darling girl. We have precious little time together. You'll never know us. But I want you to know that you are loved.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I want you to know you're not alone. You will always be the beautiful child I held in my arms. You will smile the brightest smile.
So who is the Alicia that's
You
with
will cry
Renoir?
iridescent tears.
Is she also a
You
painted
will
copy?
know love.
But Renoir's painted copy? Like she's
And
a...
you will know pain.
The wild part of this is that Gustav
You
isn't
will
even
know
real.
us all too well. Because we live in an unforgiving world. But you are strong. And you will survive.
Like this has all been happening in
You
a
will
painting.
struggle, and you will learn. You'll find people to call your own, and you'll shine as their guiding light. For you will change the world and the people around you.
So Mael
You're
has been the
forever
main character this whole time.
our princess.
But what does it mean that Alicia
I have decided on her name.
or Mael gets erased?
And her name will be...
After the end of Act 2.
Mael.
So curious still about all of this. Act 3! It does exist! Oh, Mael. And so now it becomes maybe about what agency she has over the canvas as like this third person?
Well, that's just private.
Oh, ain't it just? Fallen Angel, thank you for the 2 months. Also, G the B, thank you for the 36, the 3 years. Sorry I missed that. I've been so engrossed in all of this. And so at this point, her mother and father have been fighting inside this canvas as the paintress and the curator. This is some sort of shard of Verso's soul that is left, even though he is dead in the real world, quote-unquote.
Alicia.
Actually, I prefer Mael.
I think I do too. But I'm not really Verso, and you're not really Mael, are you?
You're not Verso, no.
Does this matter, though, at this point?
You look and sound just like him, but you're you. I'm still Mael, though. You should have helped me remember.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. If I'd listened to Mama, if I hadn't trusted the writers, Verso would still be alive, and
I'm
you
still so curious about the writers.
wouldn't be caught in the middle.
The writers of this video game, dude? What is this?
Mama did a terrible thing, painting you into Verso's canvas, giving you his memories, pretending the fire only took me.
So he died in the fire also.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you exist.
Your father was right to erase everyone. It's better this way.
Better for who? Verso would never have wanted his canvas gone. He loved Esquier and his gestrels and grandes.
It was killing our mother. Staying here so long in a make-believe world with her make-believe family.
Right. Yeah.
It's not make-believe. It's not. You're not. To me.
God, this is so interesting.
Papa's here. He'll help me fix Lumiere.
Will he?
Maman painted a rather unflattering portrait of him. He's much warmer than the Renoir, you know.
I bet.
So. Okay, yep. We got hold of that at the end of the fight with the paintress, but we haven't been able to... Mael has recovered her memories as a paintress. So there are painters, and there are paintresses. Oh! And Esquier is over there flying, of course. Yeah, a lot of this is starting to make more sense. And obviously we have a few of these. We still haven't found out who Julie and Simon are. We haven't found all of the expedition entries. But I suspect they're all available by this point. There might be some that are on, like, the floating islands that we haven't been able to visit. Which I presume we can from this point on. But anyway, our first port of call should really be equipping this so that we can learn it as soon as possible. Because while I think Verso is probably capable of it, Mael is the one we've set up to be the most... to receive the most benefit from this. Can we adjust her... Okay, we can get her hair, but then real Mael. Okay, sure, great, thanks. And Verso is still just Verso, but he can have Renoir's suit, which we didn't even try on. Let's have him in Renoir's suit and samurai hair for the moment. This feels like them. I'll give them that. So interesting, all of this. And so, yeah, the Renoir we've been fighting has been a version of Renoir that the Paintress has created in order to get people to fight against
Your father was
him.
the one erasing everyone. Why would he help repaint everything?
I hid the canvas before I entered, so Maman can't come back again. There's no need to erase the canvas anymore.
He'll want you to go home.
I'm not at risk like Maman. I haven't been in this canvas that long. Besides, Papa has a soft spot for me. He'll listen.
And there's the curator, who we now know to be Renoir, and he's holding a big old paintbrush. Hey, bud. Time to repaint your form, I guess. There he is.
Papa!
Alicia,
Oh.
you're safe.
And of course he doesn't have the scar because he's not the painted copy, right?
I thought
Yeah.
I told you to stay home.
Technically, my body's at home.
So is his. And so is their mother's.
Some of Eileen's finest work.
Oh.
I regret that it caused you so much pain. What Eileen did was unfair to you most of all. Please, accept the Descendre family's apologies. I know it seems absurd to offer oblivion as recompense, but perhaps that's the outcome we both desire.
And he's basically wanted to die this entire
I'm
time.
proud of you. Getting your mother out of the canvas was not easy. Once we erase the canvas, we won't have to worry anymore.
Alright, so Mael
She's
misinterpreted his
home. Why-
intentions.
You know your mother. Verso painted this canvas. It contains a piece of his soul. She'll never willingly part with it.
No.
For the sake of the living, we must part with the dead.
No, Papa. See, I hid the
She
canvas.
will always find it. This is our only opportunity, while she's too sick from her prolonged descent into the canvas to return.
No. Papa. Papa, please. This is Verso's only canvas. You can't destroy the last piece of him that we have. This is my home now. You can't just decide...
Your home? After all that with your mother, you want to stay?
You know how little remains of my life outside.
Alicia, you'll die. You've already been here longer than you should.
Right.
No. Look at me, I said no. I am not letting my daughter risk her life. Alicia.
I'm not, Mama. I'm not going to lose myself if I stay.
I know full well you will, and I am not doing this again!
No!
Right, yeah.
Papa, what are you...
It's time to go home.
And she can paint him now.
Visit me!
Of course, Esquier is here.
All aboard!
Verso, come on. Come on.
Uh-huh.
I can see them.
So she can save them all, basically. Yeah, that kind of like horse-like creature or whatever it is with the orb on its back, that's one of the things that was in the studio before. Oh, okay, well. This changes things. In such an interesting way. So she can bring back anyone she wants. If she has their chroma.
I did it so easily. What am I doing wrong?
Don't be discouraged. It's only been a day since you remembered your painter's side.
And of course Monoko knows about this. Because he's a creation of Verso's.
Remember them.
Which is how come Esquier and Verso have known each other forever, because Verso created Esquier.
Painting isn't about verisimilitude. It's about essence.
But Claire created Francois then, presumably.
Truth. Of who they are. Your father made the axles, right? She who plays with wonder. He who guards truth with lies. They're the essence of your mother and your brother.
And now she's painting with the swords. There they are. This means she can bring Gustav back, though. So I'm curious about that aspect of things. Mael's like, I have a lot of explaining to do.
Mael.
Yeah, Rob, you definitely need to start at the beginning of this, no question. The story of this is going to be so confusing out of context.
We have much to talk about.
And there are 3 different levels of difficulty. There is a story mode if you feel like you don't vibe with the combat side of things.
So you were her daughter?
Well, combat is still a necessary part of the game, but it's
you were a
easier.
Paintress too.
So cool.
But I think you get on with the combat.
Right?
And you knew this whole time. You fucking coward! You betrayed us! We trusted you.
You can bring them back too. Yeah?
But she's new at this, so it will
Everyone
take
we've
time.
lost.
Yeah, but I need chroma, and Papa controls all the chroma in the canvas.
No. Not all of it. The expeditioners, the ones killed by Nevrons.
They belong to the Paintress.
Gustave noticed their chroma remains in their bodies. They never dissipated, like the gamage.
It's old chroma and not pure. It won't be like bringing the two of you back, but we could use it in other ways.
Time for the greatest expedition in history.
Did Indian story mode, enjoyed the heck out of it? Great, yeah, no, I think you'd love that. Oh my goodness. What is even going on though? Alright, I'm so... Oh. Really? Really this game? Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, everyone who we brought back was gamaged. Like Lune, CL. But Gustave was killed. That's different. Huh. Okay, right. Well, we got everyone. So, first things first, let's talk.
Lune.
I was right not to trust you.
And what would you have done in my position?
I wouldn't have betrayed my expedition. I would have warned them that everyone they cared about was about to be erased. That they were about to be erased. I would have told them the truth. Because after everything we've been through, we deserved that.
So you choose your expedition over your mother?
That's your problem. You think in false dichotomies. It wasn't an either-or situation. Other solutions were possible if you'd only trusted us enough to ask.
Knowing what you know now, would you have helped me force my mother out of the canvas? I don't apologize for saving her. But I am sorry I broke your trust. And I will do everything I can to help bring everyone back.
I guess we'll see.
So this can be a living, breathing world. I don't see what the problem is with just letting it be. I don't know why the mother and father have been fighting over this for so long. Like, what the deal is with that. But it seems to do something with the value of Verso's soul and the grieving process. Like, their child has died, and it's like, do we move on from that, or do we in some way keep him around? But I don't know what the value is in not doing that in this fantasy world where that's a possibility. Like, I don't understand what having a shard of Verso embedded in this canvas means for them. In terms of, like, what they can do. Like, that's the weird part of this for me. Like, it's all based in this sort of metaphysical reality of which I have no real context. Because I don't know enough about the world outside the painted one. So that's fascinating in general. Also, the curator isn't here anymore because that was Renoir. So how do I upgrade my weapons now is the next question. Maybe that's something that somebody else will do for us. Maybe Maëlle can do it. Because she's out here.
We have to push Papa out of the canvas before he erases everything.
I'm surprised he hasn't already.
He's been weakened by his battle with Maman. That's probably why he hasn't come after us. But it won't stop him for long.
If you and your father keep fighting, you risk breaking the world again. Another fracture, but this time, it might be you trapped inside the monolith.
What's the alternative?
Maybe you should go home.
Verso.
You're fighting each other, but you're all doing the same thing.
No.
Eileen wants her son back. Renoir wants you and Eileen back. You want Gustave back. The cycle we needed to break wasn't the gamage. It's your family's cycle of grief. Our whole world carries the burden of your family's grief.
And what do we do with that as a world? Hi, Sastro.
Yippee!
Yippee. So that's Mael. CL is here, SK is there. Minoko is over on the cliff.
Save it. I don't need your mea culpa. You did what you felt you had to. Of course, you were wrong. But, oh well.
I thought you'd be more upset.
I was. I got over it.
She's so straightforward, I love it.
Everything I knew about our world is wrong. And you know what? I don't care. 'Cause death isn't death anymore. And that means I can see my husband again.
CL.
Oh, please. I'd sacrifice you in a heartbeat to get him back. So, I understand. We're good.
I appreciate her being straight up with us. Yep.
As long as you help me bring Pierre back. You owe me.
You got it.
Hell yeah, dude. Hi, SGA. How are you?
Oh, everyone's mad at you.
Are you?
Isky can be sad, or bad, or even rad, but never, ever mad. Bad things happen when we get mad.
Yeah, evidently.
Oh, I know.
But I can never be mad at you.
Well, we did create him, I guess. So, huh. Minoko's got his arms folded like, alright, we need to talk.
Not to say I told you so, but I do believe that I did, in fact, tell you so. Thanks for the support. Was it worth it? What will you do now? I'll do my best to earn their trust back. Quite a steep hill to climb. Not to...
Okay, cool. So nobody has, like, relationship progression right now because we're all too busy digesting what just happened. Entirely fair, I think. Probably a scene at the campfire before we head out. But first... Oh, okay, we just do this from the flag now. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Cool. We have a lot of chroma catalysts. We don't have a grandiose chroma catalyst yet. And that makes Dualiso far too good of a weapon. We'll upgrade Medallum one last time because we didn't get to fully upgrade that. Yeah, I think we're upgrading this all the way with CL. And then Minoko I'm still not certain about. Like, I still think this is a really interesting one because Gunner Minoko is a really interesting possibility. But I don't want to build everybody for free aim because that seems ridiculous. I also wanted to take a look into some of the other ones of these because... This one's really interesting. 50% chance to generate a light stain when consuming stains. Because light stains are wild cards, so we can do a lot of cool stuff with those. And then obviously gradient charges are really good. I think we'll probably develop this one for Lune. But I also really like Trebuchet in the luck build. So I think we'll stick with this for now and have the other one to fall back on. Because evidently we'll be able to upgrade multiple weapons. And it's given us a lot of high rank weapons in the last area, so we can maybe play around with a couple of these. I find it funny that that one looks so different to all of the sword dagger kind of based ones. Anyway, I assume that Mael has access to the rest of her skill tree now. We're going to continue to develop luck for Lune. Everyone else is good on terms of attribute points. Yeah, we now have this. Phantom Strike, Burning Canvas, Stendhal, whatever that means. And we understand that void damage, I think people were mentioning this in the chat already, but void damage is the symbol that is neither light nor dark. It's like non-elemental magic, I guess. Cool. Alright. We've got a lot to do. And nobody needs to rest. Everyone's like back to full health and whatnot. Create the greatest expedition in history. Okay. That's what move on is now. Let's write in the journal. Because apparently we can still do this. And the song is different. She writes about everything. The painter's Aline Renoir, so no matter what happens, the truth will be written somewhere. When she brings the apprentices back, they will want to read this story. That's so funny. Alright, time to check up on the others. These scenes are going to be a little different now, right?
Nice hair.
Of course, that's the first thing CL says.
Oh, yeah. That.
I can't believe there's another world out there. A world I'll never get to see.
I'm sorry. I didn't. My memories. I would have told you if I'd known.
Don't apologize. You were trapped too. You lived among us. You're one of us. Even if you're also one of them.
It's so weird. I have memories of 2 childhoods.
Of course.
2 homes. 2 Lumiere.
She's lived a life inside of here. It's like Inception. It is kind of like Inception, where, like, he's lived this entire existence here. And she's done the same thing, almost.
You're not an orphan anymore. You just found your family. Don't you want to be with them?
I love my family, but they're all gone. In one way or another. And you're my family too. So are Gustav and Emma. And I didn't see it at the time, but all the families who took turns taking care of me.
Basically, I've created myself an emotional attachment to this piece of art, which Specs raised in the chat is saying that's what Stendhal syndrome is. Someone being affected very strongly, physically and mentally, by looking at or experiencing a piece of art. So interesting. Inkception is very good. That's also excellent.
This is a lot to take in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is a lot to take in. Thank you, Lune. Yes.
For the first time in a long time, I have hope.
I miss Gustav. I mean, there's every chance that he could come back at the end of this, because they're talking about bringing back some of the people who've been killed, even the ones who were just part of the gommage, right? Like, CL said that her husband died. He didn't get erased. He died in an accident. And Verso is saying we can still bring him back. That means Gustav can come back too. Posso 3, thanks so much for the 49 months. So who are these? All of the other expeditions. Okay, and there's like masses of them here. Bring that guy back, he's got a sword through him. And so she's taking all of their chroma. She's not necessarily reviving all of them like this, but she's taking their chroma and can use it to create painted copies of all of them. Or use them for something. It's interesting how different her face looks, even though it's the same character model. And in a way, this sort of means everyone from every expedition matters now. Any of the individuals who sacrificed their lives in the process of the expeditions, they can be brought back, but also their chroma will contribute to saving the world. So like they've literally done what they set out to do, all of them. It makes every single person matter. That's fascinating. Oh, by the way, SK can fly now. And yes, we have a little bit of a solo leveling situation. Head back to Lumiere, expel Renoir from the canvas. Okay, so Renoir remains the villain in an interesting way. Oh, and here we are, by the way, next to...
Once we're ready, we can head to Lumiere.
Far Shores. Is that what it was called? Or Dark Shores? Yeah. And we can fly to Lumiere when we're ready. We won't be ready for a while, because there's a bunch of stuff in this world that I never ended up exploring. And now we have the ability to, because SK can fly. So there's this whole area over here, for example, that we have not been to. There's this area that I clocked pretty early on we can't reach unless SK can fly. Yeah, so fascinating. All of this. Yeah, and the fact that the world doesn't really exist outside the boundaries of this because it's a painting and this is the world that was created. It's just like, yeah, that's fun. That's really interesting. Also, that the painting workshops exist within this world is wild. That's another thing that's like, okay, y'all are like thinking with portals here. This is like dream within a dream Inception stuff. So now SK can take off. Oh, that's cool.
Hang on tight.
Very, very cool. And so yeah, now we can like land in areas like this, apparently. Neat. I'm wondering if there's anything different about the areas around here, or if I'm just not seeing the enemies yet because we haven't landed. We can also fly up and fly down. It means we get to find out what that is, because that's a giant tower. And also the Nevrons that are like eating the land are really interesting in this context. But I have to go and... Oh, cool. We can still like sprint like this. It's really interesting. I have to go and deal with one thing in the north part of the map, because there was, first of all, a chromatic boss that we missed when we were in Siren's area. So I kind of want to go back to the Axon over there. What's up, Big Kev? Yes, we can fly now. You missed a lot in terms of the story, but that's probably fine. Okay, yeah, so having the ability to fly up and down here is interesting. There's also, yeah, a couple of spots here and there that I'm really curious about. Land. Interesting. Clair Obscur Flight Simulator. How do I get up onto this? Where's the beach? Oh, it's over there, right. I was like, oh yeah, there's a portal around here somewhere. Right. Here we go. I need to head back into this area. Yeah, splashdown. We've done it. So, first of all, this is apparently a really good area for learning Pictos, because some of the enemies at the start of this area are pretty quick to defeat because they're flying, and so you just shoot a bunch of them. And since we are so well geared up for the gunner abilities, we're gonna absolutely crush. Plus now we can exceed the damage cap. So I'm really curious to see what happens with this. But then, I think we're going to make sure... And Mael has the Pictos for this, so I need to find out how much the Lumina costs. I want to get... Painted Power. Is it really only 5? That feels so... cheap, but then it feels like an ability everyone's going to need eventually, so it may as well be cheap, I suppose. But we want to make sure everyone has access to Painted Power, so that everyone can exceed the damage cap. This place has the best music. I'm already so obsessed with the soundtrack for this game, and I desperately want to replay this game now I understand a bit more about what's going on in it. But let's, yeah, sit here for a second. And now we can upgrade our weapons from any flag. That's huge, because we had to do that from camp before. Hey, what's up? Fight me. So the painted can gain painter powers. Yeah, so about that. Mael is different now, first of all. And she can just one-shot things, which, to be fair, she could before. That's no different, really. Yeah, this lot over here. They're just dancing their dance.
That's better.
Did Verso and Curator Renoir know Mael was Alicia? Yes. Which is why the Curator wanted Mael to be the one to bring the Hearts of the Axons so that he could create the Barrier Breaker. It's because we were helping him to fight Alina the whole time. Which makes perfect sense, really. Okay, Mael has learned Second Chance. Heck yeah, let's take that off here. Oh wait, no, oh, that's Verso having learned Second Chance. Painted Power is a different thing. My bad. Yeah, Painted Power is the one we want everyone to learn, so a couple more battles we should lock that in. I guess we've only had Second Chance since we were fighting the Paintress, so that's changed things slightly. But as you can see, yeah, Lumina learnt, there we go. These fights are going to be super easy. We also have Breaking Attack, which is huge, and we need that, actually. But... Oh, I forgot we have, like, favorites we can add here. That's kind of hilarious. I also want to... maybe sort these more frequently. Like, I kind of forget that you can sort them. We're going to make sure that Painted Power... is equipable by everyone. Because I'm pretty sure Minoko has a couple of really damaging attacks. Ciel has been able to pass the damage cap since we got her, because she was the first character we had who dealt damage cap damage. The thing is, Verso's build is so tightly set up right now. I'm like, what can I do? I think we'll take Powerful Revive off. And we don't have anything else that's just worth 2. We can probably take Breaking Counter off. Or energizing break, because we're not breaking targets that often, and painted power is going to be way more valuable for the minute. But that is everyone should now be able to exceed damage cap. This is the direction we didn't go when we first explored here, because I went that way first, and that turned out to be the way you're supposed to progress through the level, or one of the ways. But I saw somebody else playing this. I think I was watching Pirate Software's stream again, and it led to an area over here which has a chromatic boss we didn't fight. So we're going to go and trash this guy. So it makes sense in the story why Verso and Mael are so OP. Yes, it really does. But also the fact that Lune, as an individual inside the paintings, can manipulate chroma, that's kind of fascinating also. So there's a gestural here that we never got to meet, first of all. I agree, dude. I agree. There's a paint spike right here. Hacha! With some more color of Lumina. We'll need all that we can get. And yeah, having a Mael only run of this game just got a lot more significant in terms of meaning. Although obviously we have to do sections with Gustav and Lune before we even acquire Mael. Okay, not much we can do here. I know there's one area like this that has a petanque in it, but I think we did that. We encountered it on the opposite side. So we go through here. Wait, did we come this way? And is it a different direction that we didn't go? I'm confused. You've been cheating? No, I've not been cheating, because I've not been watching ahead of where I was. It's just that sometimes if there's a big area that lots of people can explore different ways, you end up going different directions. Somebody pointed out a while ago, when we were first exploring this area, that it's so fascinating that the vocal directional audio comes from the middle, but the music is just a stereo mix and it's all around you. Like the vocal is directional while the rest of the soundtrack is not, and that's such a cool detail. So was the other moving platform just further down this way then? Maybe it was. Because there was a paint spike there that we broke. And did I go this way or something? I can't quite figure out where it is I'm going. But frankly, I think we should just treat this as a great way of learning all of the pictos that we haven't already. I really wish there was, like, a way to sort them by ones that you had learned and ones that you hadn't. But he doesn't need second chance anymore. We'll give him empowering parry. Combo attack is worth 10. So we can maybe take off empowering attack or energizing attack so that we can just equip that. So that we can also give him greater defenseless, which is huge. I don't necessarily want to learn energizing pain because I'm not interested in not parrying. And energizing cleanse is a fun one, but we're not going to worry as much about that either. Perilous parry is also something that we could learn. I'm not that interested in him having first strike. But yeah, him having combo attack is basically crucial for this build. We're also changing their stats wildly by equipping different Pictos, but that's kind of okay. Let's equip longer shell. Double burn is huge for Mael, but I don't know we'll be using it that much here. Random defense is a wild one. That's basically roulette for defense. Double burn is 30 Lumina points, which is a lot. But yeah, I think we'll basically do like a full revisit of Pictos, and I think at this point we're not really going to be in much danger of losing to enemies in this area, so I'm kind of okay just equipping random stuff here. Weakness gain is a fun one. Energizing turn, sure, and auto regen, fun. Lune still has dead energy equipped. But I think that's also for crit rate. Let's find some ones that have good crit rate for Lune. Powerful on shell is pretty good. Longer powerful is also pretty good for upping her critical rate. And fueling break is good. Healing death is good. Oh, confident fighter. That's a fun one. Yeah, can't be healed is something I'm not that interested in messing with. But that potentially takes Trebuchem to the next level in terms of... I mean, Trebuchem isn't even necessary there because we're talking about crit rates so that we can do Elemental Trick into Elemental Genesis. Yeah, okay. Never mind. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, we'll keep Luniverso Mael as, like, main team. But we'll swap Minoko in here and there for some of the stuff that we've just equipped on him. So we can't, like, jump down there or anything. No, okay. Was it a floating platform out here that takes us to the... No, I guess not. I'm wondering where this other enemy is that I saw before. Is it over here? Did I end up going the wrong way? This is the one. Yes, you. You there. We'll talk to them in a second. First, gotta mess this guy up. Which should be pretty easy.
Ready to go. Nice.
I mean, we have the highest level weapon at this stage. But yeah, there's items here I missed. There's a expedition log I missed.
Yeah. Ready to go. Good.
Oh, and there's handholds over here, so there's like a whole area to jump to. Massive. Okay, so we've learned breaking attack from that.
What have we here?
And we have greater shell now, huh? Okay. Yeah, we'll come back for the handholds in a second, because I don't want to get too far away from the chromatic enemy over here. And I thought it was a log, but it was a Pictos, because it was like a blue glow behind it. That also seems to be guarding a Pictos. This thing is toast. Chromatic Greatsword Cultist. Right, okay.
Careful, my own.
We know this one. Oh, it's got jump attacks, though.
Time to hit big.
Interesting. Well, first of all, we need this. Amazing to see damage numbers over... See, now we have all the stains, so we could, in theory, do Elemental Genesis right this second. But I want to heal Verso. What the heck?
Meet your reckoning.
I'm sorry, how much damage did we just do? That was like 24,000 damage from some of those? Lune.
Well, that will help.
We also have Siaso, or Cireso, however you'd pronounce that. Bonus damage from Perfection applies to all allies at half value? Perfection gain is increased by 1 while powerful support skills cost... So it's Verso's support weapon. And his Perfection affects the entire team, so that can buff Ciel and Mael, who are going to be like the real heavy-hitting damage dealers. I mean, let's not count Lune out based on what we just saw, but... Yeah, that boss, that chromatic enemy is... Oh, an effective heal doubles all heals received. We just got that as a Pictos. Yeah, that boss is clearly not meant to be fought when you're at post-game, or when you're post-damage cap. Absolutely absurd, the damage we're dealing with Lune now. What the heck? She was sidelined for a while in my party, and now I feel like she's gonna be hitting real hard. Like, I thought I was gonna have a chance to revive Verso. I thought I was gonna deal, like, about half its health bar. Turns out, no, more like 2/3, and that was what was left. Okay, so now we are here. Does this bring us back to an area we've already explored? There's at least one area in here where there was something on a ledge that I could not access. And I'm curious if I can get to that some way or other. But I think this has actually brought us full circle back to the starting area, judging by this. So let's rest real fast. We did get a level up somewhere. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we'll boost Verso and Mael's attack powers. And once again, skill-wise, we're on the lookout for Mael to get access to any of these, just to see what those do, because it's extreme damage for some of them. For like 8 AP, but still. Phantom Strike gives 35% of a gradient charge, which is a lot. Damage increased for each burn on the target. So burning canvas is wild, because with Rain of Fire, I think it is, we can do 40 stacks of burn, and then do this, which applies 1 burn per hit and increases damage for each burn on the target. And it already deals high damage. And if we're in Virtuose, we get absurd damage multiplier. We're too powerful now. Also, we just learned some of those. So let's add effective heal into this. Double mark is also crazy. I should have had that on for a while. Energizing attack, it's nice to have multiple of those. And then greater powerful, greater shell, and protecting death we can learn. I think the really interesting thing, I've seen a couple of people do this, is where you have, there's an auto death ability somewhere, but then you can die automatically at the start of a battle to give +4 AP to your allies, heal everybody if they needed healing, add a bunch of buffs, and then now that we have the end game ability, second chance lets you automatically revive. So you can just immediately sacrifice a party member to have them get up again, and then everybody in the party is like fully buffed and has full AP. And it's like, it's silly. It's so silly. Also, Revive Tints giving 3 AP is quite nice too. But yeah, there are so many like wacky things you can do like that. Glass Cannon is probably worth learning. Also, Immaculate is, I think, a really fun one. Did we switch Lunes as well? No, we did not. Okay, cool. Let's quickly do that. Again, this is all just about learning the ones that we haven't already learned, regardless of whether or not we actually want to use them yet. Just because the enemies here are so easily taken out. I just want to have all the abilities available to me if we're going to go into endgame with maximum potential for diverse builds.
Ready to go.
Nice. It's going to be really interesting to see how hectic people get with free aim in speedruns. Because I think, on balance, if you set up right, up until the last fight where you get to break the damage limit and all of the abilities that can deal more extreme damage come into play, if you set your characters up right, free aim is the most powerful thing in the base game. In, like, the first 2 acts, because if you get your free aim hits doing damage cap, you can deal so much damage per turn. Like, you can have up to 10 hits of 9999. So you're basically doing 100,000 damage with each character every turn. Which is wild because the Paintress, I think, only had about, in phase 1 at least, only had about 300,000 health. Also, the Lumina learnt there is like 9 of them. Let's add Energizing Cleanse and Energizing Pain anyway, even though we're not planning on using them much. We're definitely reaching the point where we need to be able to sort the Pictos on the big list of them. Energy tints also apply rush. Gradient charges and stuff affected here as well. It's so good. Literally just finished this game. Nice, McWeezus. Hope you enjoyed the end of it. I am now on Act 3. And basically giving myself all of the Pictos and Luminas I can possibly learn before moving on. I think if we go back here, there is a flag, and then we can just respawn the enemies in this area. Ciel's attack power is almost at maximum. It is amazing, isn't it? Isn't it just? Like, we just discovered the truth of what's going on with this world and Mael's origin and stuff, and it's fascinating to me. Like, I still have so many questions, but I'm starting to see the bigger picture. So I'm just now shooting everybody with Mael in order to learn all of these luminas. Time for the grind. The thing is, we could obviously do some more of the Lumina learning, just actively fighting stuff in the next set of areas, but I just enjoy dunking on these enemies, to be quite honest. There we go. And we got a recoat from that. Interesting. I didn't realize you could farm those. But I've never used one, as far as I'm aware, so far. Yeah, we need to put Minoko in just so we can have him learn these 3 Luminas that I equipped to him already. I haven't done anything like that with CL. So we can equip Confident, Fueling Break, Empowering Tint. Yeah, honestly, I don't think the abilities that apply stuff when you use tints in battle are going to be that worth having, but if they're cheap to just throw on a character, you never know. Plus 3 AP to all allies when revived is also pretty fun. Yeah, let's swap Mael out for Minoko right here, so that Minoko can give us these 3. Because we can be pretty sure Verso will take out these enemies quickly too. And straightening out characters' health and stats based on what Pictos they have equipped is going to be nice. Even though we're probably going to require a lot more Pictos just by running around, right? It'll be interesting to see if we can exceed the characters, like... Oh, I guess he doesn't quite get the same... Yeah, there we go.
Let's carve a path.
Now he has 9 AP, great. Yeah, he doesn't always get the same benefits from the gunner setup if we have different Pictos equipped for now. You can also run around with Minoko. Hello. Yeah, we can exceed characters like...
Ready to strike.
The benefits the characters receive from stats. We can theoretically exceed the benefits characters receive from stats by equipping Pictos. Which means if you put a bunch of Pictos on that have stats that scale with the weapons you're using, that's also really interesting. So I wonder how much synergy exists between those aspects. Nice. So that's everyone else learning more Lumina, including Minoko. So now I'm going to put Mael back in and make sure we've learned the last few. So revive Tint Energy. Yeah, Death Bomb. On death, deal damage to all enemies. And we don't have Auto Death. And I can't remember where that one is. But at this point, I wouldn't mind looking it up because I know it exists. Also, Death Bomb absolutely sounds like an ability that a child would name. It just sounds like the coolest thing a child has ever heard of. The Death Bomb. Okay, I think that's actually all of them. That we have so far, at least. I can't see any that aren't a different color. Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll sort these by level for now. Because the higher the level, the better the stat gain you get from it. And this should be the last little group of enemies we need to smash our way through before we've learned all of our Luminas. And then we can completely restructure these characters if we want to. We could also spend Color of Lumina from this menu now. Nice. Let's go, baby! I think Gunner Verso is just my favorite build of all time at this stage. But I feel like Mael is probably going to take over a little bit again now that we can break damage limit. Lune is coming into her own. CL has so many good support abilities, but I want to be able to unlock more of her potential as an attacker. And Minoko just needs more feet, so we'll have to find those other feet that we haven't found yet. Am I going to play this game again when I finish or go back to Elden Ring? I'm debating whether or not I will play it on stream or if I'll just continue to play it as a recreational game off screen. I am probably going to be playing Elden Ring Night Rain this week, provided I can get a squad together of a couple of friends who are already saying they're interested in playing. Then, yeah, who knows? I think, frankly, I'm approaching a point where I have to make a fairly difficult decision about whether it's worth me playing additional games on stream compared to the time I can get back from that towards making YouTube content and focusing on Minecraft, because Minecraft is the thing that is primarily my job, and occasional recreational streams are taking time away from time I could be spending editing and that kind of thing. So yeah, what that means for the future of like Elden Ring streams and that kind of stuff, I don't really know. I would feel sad about doing that because I really love playing other games, and I think a lot of these games can inform the stuff I do in Minecraft in really interesting ways, but it more means that these games would be returned to being a recreational activity rather than a stream activity, and I'd have more chance to focus on work during, like, work day hours and stuff. I don't quite know yet. We're going back to the continent. I think we've done enough here. Hadn't picked up Night Rain yet, no one to play with, not ready to deal with super hard grind just yet solo. I think they are potentially going to be rebalancing solo play from what I've heard, and they're also adding the possibility of doing duos. But right now, yeah, trios is kind of the way you're supposed to play, which is cool, but also kind of a shame. Work is more important. Yeah, that's the unfortunate, like, reality I'm having to deal with, I think. First world problems, I know. So, let's take a look at what we can give everybody. First of all, what does Painted Power give you? It just gives you massive health. That's kind of cool, actually. So these all deal with speed, defense, critical rate, and health, but none of them just apply base might. So realistically, your might upgrading to max stat is very useful. And then the ideal thing as far as equipped Pictos, provided that they don't have any abilities that you really don't want on this character, is to equip the ones which most strongly affect your scaling attributes for the weapon you prefer. So in this case, we're using Medallum. We want a Pictos that, like, prioritizes increasing your defense and agility. But it doesn't directly affect those attributes, so I'm curious if having more defense through Pictos actually changes the amount of damage Mael deals. If I equip, let's say, Cleansing Tint and her defense goes up to 360. So I'm not sure if it's just about attributes here for weapon scaling or if it's about the combat stats. That'd be interesting to test. Although in what environment we can really test that, I don't know. Let's... I think base attack breaking is big for Verso, so I actually want to give that to Verso. Because in terms of what that's worth Lumina-wise, it's worth 10. But that's kind of huge. Yeah, all of these are now available, and we can really start to see what we're dealing with here. Inverted Affinity is an interesting one. Augmented First Strike seems sort of not worth it later. At Death's Door is really useful if we use Verso's ability that just drops him to 1 health. Aegis Revival is kind of big. I think there's a really interesting build to be had, actually, in using Verso and Mael's abilities, the skills that they have that drops them to 1 health, but then using the abilities that apply shields, not like defense or buffs, but like specifically shields, so that they can take a hit without just dropping dead in the event that I'm unable to parry successfully. I think Healing Share should just be something that we put on all characters, ideally. But Sweet Kill is huge. Because Verso cleans up. I think we're putting Augmented Counter 2 on everybody as well. And like the support abilities have a lot of really interesting potential here. Like energizing break. Yeah. Empowering parry is big once you're good at parrying. I think Greater Defenseless is going to be massive on Verso because he applies Defenseless with... whichever one that is. It's one of the ones where it's like your first attack. It's not staggering attack, it's exposing attack. Yeah, having this, which we do. Yeah, applies defenseless for 1 turn. And then I think he also has the one that makes him powerful on base attack, so having greater powerful also makes sense. Yeah. And that's not something he had already. Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Also, fueling break with breaking a target, doubling its burn amount. That's another one that's wild for my health. We're going to put second chance on Mael. Because I'd like her to revive mid-fight, and that one's really expensive. I also actually probably want to see, from the Luminas, what's the most expensive ability. And just equip those on people. Effective heal, double burn. Yeah, we need double burn on Mael, no question. And that's super expensive to apply on its own. Point cost. There we go. Okay, cool. So, effective heal. We don't want confident necessarily, because it is nice to be able to heal people. I think double mark is probably really good. Double mark is one I'd want to put on Verso as well. And then with Lune... She's going to be basically skill focused from this point onwards. So nothing related to base attack is going to make sense for her. I think we can take augmented first strike off because that's once per battle. I feel like that's not that useful in the grand scheme of things. Stun boost could be immense if like Verso breaks with his base attack and then Lune can just unload. That would be kind of amazing. So I wonder if maybe we add that. We want augmented counter. We want to be able to increase counterattack damage because that's something we will do regularly, I hope. %5 of gradient charge on using an item is kind of big. I think anytime we can get more AP from stuff, that's so helpful. And then in terms of what Lune is wielding here, I think we just equip stuff that gives her good crit rate. I think that's really it. So if we go to critical rate here, I mean, random defense is kind of nuts to equip, but dead energy frees that up from being like consuming Lumina points. So I guess we can add like we can add charging tint or exhausting power or one of these. Let's add healing tint, energy, and breaking shots, I guess. We'll figure that part out later. But then fueling break actually does a fair bit in terms of critical rate. I feel like augmented counter 2 gives us a decent amount. And empowering parry is pretty good. So that gets us up to 77% critical rate, and we can still put points into luck for Lune when we level her up. That's interesting. I think it's kind of neat to have this as like the new approach to using Pictos, is to use them for their stats. Yeah. Interesting. We'll figure out Minoko when I have a build for Minoko, but right now I still don't know if we want to use this or if we want to use Ballaro. I think this gives him way more attack power. Kind of changes his build to Gunner. We spin the Bestial Wheel until we hit Almighty Mask, and then we just use an ability from Almighty Mask, where literally everything we use is good. But then we kind of have to retool Minoko for Gunner stuff. Which means, yeah, resetting all of his Luminas. And then making sure he has... Hang on. Let's take his Pictos off as well. There we go. Now we can do this with some level of clarity, because we can do this based on level and how much he's getting. Damage received is doubled. No thank you. We don't want random defense either. Energizing turn gives him more speed, but isn't that helpful. Auto regen is okay, I suppose. Powerful on shell, protecting death. Yeah, I think we'll throw piercing shot in here, because he's going to be free aiming a lot, and we like Monoko to ignore shields because he has that ability that attacks them through shields, so that's pretty useful. We'll give him auto rush. I think that's actually quite nice. Although piercing shot, I don't know if it's worth equipping because of Lumina costs. So there's like a double-edged sword at work here. I think double mark is huge for gunners. Which Mael already has equipped. Interesting. Can we give him effective heal, or has somebody else already got that locked down? I mean, that's pretty good in terms of, like, health, defense, and Lumina cost. So we're going to add... anything that makes free aim better. And also counters, because everyone needs to have augmented counter. And the stuff that applies universally, like break damage, that's kind of huge too. Augmented aim, yep, there we go, okay. We don't want versatile necessarily, because we're not just going to be hitting with a base attack after free aim. So we want piercing shots. Empowering. We don't want combo attack. We want breaking shots. I feel like a lot of these are going to be in support abilities. Yeah, it's stuff like burning shots. Dead energy we definitely want, because that's huge for gunners. If they take something out like a flying enemy, then they refill tons of AP. I feel like energizing start is way less useful than energizing turn, but it costs way less AP. Yeah, anything that says shots or aim. We want rewarding mark. Weakness gain because you're going to be shooting at enemy weak spots. Interesting how Mael's icon is still the one with red hair. Yes. Because she's still the same character, effectively. She's just had, like, a significant change in appearance and motivation. Yeah, I think let's do energizing turn, even though that's pretty expensive to equip. Now let's go back to defensive here. Yeah, interesting. I think Sweet Kill is kind of nice to have. And then we'll add Breaker, Breaking Counter, Critical Burn. Critical vulnerability because we're applying defenseless a lot. And then energizing break is fun. And we're not going to need dodge. I don't think either of those is really that relevant either. So I think it goes to healing tint energy, weirdly enough. Yeah, I think we're good with this. We do have a little more Lumina point to give to Mael. But she's going to be primarily skill-based from this point onwards. So I'm curious what's going to be the best strat with her. Considering we're probably not going to be free aiming all that much. It's going to be mostly like focusing on getting her AP. And increased damage, right? That's going to be the main thing here is increased damage. And she's not going to be base attacking a whole lot. Yeah, curious. Okay, anyway, we've done enough tinkering. Let's go do something fun. Where should we go? That's old Lumiere. Obviously, current Lumiere. Lumiere is our eventual objective. There are still a few places that are marked dangerous, like Dark Shores. I'm curious about this area. I'm kind of wondering if there's anything we can go to in the meantime that's stuff we avoided or couldn't see or do. We haven't really seen what this is.
Hang on tight.
Because there's a couple of spots over here that maybe we couldn't access before, or maybe we just didn't land here, or maybe it doesn't let us. But there's this tower, which now we can land at. Although I kind of misjudged the distance there. Oh, is there a thing?
Let us get wet.
Oh no, those are just enemies. Okay, never mind. So we can run around this spot. Let me open the map real quick. Yeah, because there's the tower with the hot air balloons, but then there's also that, which I'm curious about. Oh, it does have a red portal, I think. The crows. Danger. Wonder how rough this is going to be. Oh, there's an expedition log here. 34. This kind of reminds me of Odin's ravens from... Oh, you can shoot them. Okay, right.
Corinne, 34th Expedition.
Hi, Corinne.
Looks like our elemental focus strategy didn't pay off. Who would have thought some Nevrons would be immune to every element? We have discovered so much, though. I suspect there is a deeper level of chroma beyond what pigtoes enable us to manipulate. The pull of chroma grows as we get closer to the monolith. But thus far, we've been unable to tap into those flows. Maybe Gustav's idea to convert chroma from pigtoes to... what did he call it? Lumina. Maybe that's not so crazy after all.
Lumina. Interesting that we're getting Gustav lore. I can shoot the crows. Why? Oh god, there's so many of them too. Verso is set up to be a gunner. This is his purpose. Correct. If a massive bird comes out of nowhere and fights me in a second, I'm going to be, frankly, quite amused. It has, like, Legend of Zelda Cuckoos kind of
Great.
levels of violence implied in it. Can we climb any of this, by the way? No, I guess not, huh? So this is more of a target practice thing. This is more like shoot all the targets. Although obviously not within like a time limit. Oh! Hello! It's a chromatic one of these, I guess. Ha! What are you? Yeah, alright. Interesting. Oh, that's going to be difficult to shoot those. Nice. Oh, the damage, though. So excited about the damage hitting this. Nice. Okay, let's Meso Forte then.
My turn.
Okay, welcome to the problem with Verso not being able to base attack. I'm not certain Lune's skills, even if we had enough AP for Elemental Genesis, I'm not certain that they would work out here. Also, this guy gets 2 attacks in a row, so we might be in trouble. Okay, he's just doing masks again. Okay, yeah, that's huge damage, but... Alright, 3 hits. Cool.
You can't leave us yet.
Well, Mael gets resurrected, so GG's. We need to wait for them to come around, because... I'm pretty sure the whole thing with this enemy is that he, like, drops these hats on us.
You're outmatched.
Strangely, this is not advantage Verso if he can't actually hit with his base attack. It's kind of a shame. Might have to reformat myself for this fight.
Danger!
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. I think we can go again. It's the area where you start using your mouse to free aim shoot. Yeah, I can see why. Oh, and it's just going straight back to the cutscene? I guess that doesn't start the fight, right? That's me who has to do that. Yeah, okay, cool. So I think we maybe want to tag in Minoko here, since we did just set him up for more gunner stuff. I pressed the wrong button when I aimed. Oh, we actually got a hit with that one. That's nice. So here's the thing. Yeah, that now switches the... Oh, interesting. And now we're in Almighty Mask. So now, in theory, we could do something like Chevalier Piercing. But I don't think it's going to hit because they'll dodge most of that. So I think we're going to keep shooting, but I do really like the fact that it can sort of set us up for whichever mask we want on Monoko. Ow. Yeah, I need to figure out the dodge timing.
Spill some ink.
Oh, we need to shoot these as well, don't we? Huh. Forgot about that. Alright, let's revive Verso with that one.
You can't leave us yet.
So Monoko now has 7 AP. We're getting closer to breaking this thing. So it's in break range now, but the problem is we need to hit it with a break ability, most of which it is going to dodge. We got a decent amount of damage with that, but now we have exhaust. Interesting. I think maybe we still do perfect recovery here.
That's better.
Because that means I lose the status. Dang it. Did not have the timing of that ready. Do we risk trying to use an ability that will let Monoko break yet? I don't think it's worth doing. Especially when he's dealing this much damage. I think we revive Verso again.
Having a bit too much fun, eh?
Okay, so now we can't free aim because we don't have any AP and we're still exhausted. I think we just heal Mael then.
Let's dance.
Man. That's the problem with the hats. Okay. Yeah, I can see this being a problem. So Mael's gonna come back after this? Yeah. And I'm bad. I'm bad with that. I'm bad with the timing of that one. Interesting. I'll give this one more go. We know. Okay, yeah, and Lune's back. Monoko, you're up. Let's set ourselves up with slightly different Luminas here because we want to make sure that we get Energizing Turn on deck. We can take off the stuff that works for defenseless Yeah, energizing turn. Here we go. So that we get more AP. And obviously, like, the dead energies can come off. The mark stuff makes sense. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that's related to, like, base attack is not going to be that helpful here. But if we get a break with a base attack, that's huge. And he can hit occasionally. Not really a whole lot we can do about our accuracy. I want to get energizing. Honestly, energizing pain is not going to help because we'll just die. Energizing parry is honestly not bad either. Like if we take off some of these ones that are really strictly about base attack damage, then that maybe opens us up. Because then we get huge amounts from parrying once I learn how to parry. And healing tint energy might be kind of useful here too. And if we set Mael up for... Yeah, free aim is already good. So I think that should be okay. Give or take. There's still a couple of things we could do, but... Alright, you. Okay, we need to aim like down here. Yep. Nice.
A bit of violence, yes.
Actually, 2 more of those. Oh, that's probably the one base attack that's going to hit this entire combat. And when we need his base attack to break, that's really annoying. This time, though, hopefully I can time a counter.
Get ready.
Nope, not happening. That last one has a little bit of delay before the end of it as well.
You won't disappoint.
Well, Mael's back.
Guard up.
Bitter dregs.
I'm going to use a healing tint on Minoko after that. Should hopefully cleanse the status. Okay, at least we're at A rank. And it breaks. Amazing. Love that for us. It can still dodge even when it's stunned is so funny to me.
Bring it on.
Dang it. And Mael doesn't get to revive, yeah. I forgot that there were 2 slashes after that. I thought the jump attack came right away. I think we're pretty well set up here, though. I think a couple of extra tries and we'll have this. This is sort of what it feels like playing on expert mode, I get the sense, because enemies just one-shot you in expert mode a lot of the time. Okay, now it... Yeah, because I equipped some new stuff, I think it saved the fact that Monoko was in the party that time.
Your turn to dance.
Why did we... Interesting. So it actually started that one with an attack instead of summoning masks.
Merci.
Kind of a surprise. Shout out to that first crit doing, like, over the Act 2 damage cap. Alright, Verso. Oh, thank goodness he hits. Okay, he means he gets another turn. Okay, now it summons masks.
Please survive.
Okay, so now we have exhausts. But we need to shoot these. Oh, missing is annoying. And we're going to revive Verso. Not really worth...
Permit me to help.
Okay, now it has masks again. But then Verso gets a turn, so maybe we can break it with a base attack, hopefully? Okay, this is looking better. We'd love to actually hit it with this, please. Oh, dang it. Never mind. Okay, now it summons masks again. Oh, and we didn't end up clearing the effect because Monoko doesn't have that Pictos equipped. So that's really annoying, actually. But that's huge damage, though. What?
Oh, really?
Nice. Okay, actually got a counter with that one.
Please survive.
I'm just bad on the timing with that, man. Well, at least we get to revive again, provided that I survive this. Which I don't. Except I think Mael gets a free revive now. No, she doesn't. Okay, she used it already. Never mind. I think we do have this. Especially if Mael gets a turn the way she did just now. Where she can deal like 30,000 damage in a single hit. Yeah, I'm getting better at parrying this thing. It's just got really specific delayed attacks. I feel like the attacks that cause exhaust are really annoying. I'm getting better at shooting those down as well. The hitboxes are more forgiving than they look. Okay, Monoko gets a base attack in. Unprecedented in these times. See, that's delayed. It's like really designed to mess with you. The timing on that. And now masks are back. Okay. If I shoot you, then I get more AP back. I'm going to use this turn to summon or revive Verso. Gonna give Mael energy.
It likes you.
Yes! That's without Virtuose as well.
Still need your help.
Rough. It's really dependent on whether I parry those. There's a couple of things we could do to make our life slightly easier here, but it just involves rejigging a lot of Pictos that I don't want to mess with at the moment. Alright, we're going to take a couple more attempts at this and then I'm probably going to wrap up for the day. This is going to be a shorter stream anyway because we're streaming real late. But I just got started with Act 3, so I am at least understanding what the deal is here.
My, what lovely feet.
Does this thing even have the feet that Minoko wants? I think maybe we are better served by using energy tints at the end of each of these turns than we are by attempting a base attack with everyone except Verso because he can break with his base attack and it gets him another turn. Which also puts him at a higher perfection rank.
Minoko, get ready.
Rough.
Finesse and grace.
Alright, you. I have 9 shots. In fact, I probably have more than that because I think I get more AP back from shooting you once you have mark. Although I'm not sure if Mael marks anymore, so that's part of the problem. But I'm going to revive Minoko with that. Okay, hopefully we get to hit him. Okay, no break. Never mind. Okay, that damage is huge. I think probably just heal. Not that it's gonna make much difference. He hits me once and I'm dead, but yeah, let's try a base attack. Okay, nothing.
Finesse and grace.
Nice. Finally managed to counter that. Really wish he'd hit Mael, though, because Minoko doesn't seem to have the breaking damage capability. Please break, please break, please break. Yes! Oh, thank goodness. Good job, Verso. Unfortunately, I can't do much else because everyone is exhausted, so... Does Mael have the ability to get rid of the... Yeah, we don't have the cleanse thing.
Sweet taste of Bernor.
So basically now we can't do anything. Because I don't think Exhausted wears off on its own.
Merci.
Yeah, the only thing that can happen here is Mael gets resurrected and then resurrects the other two. And then she gets a thing dropped on her.
You can't leave us yet.
And finally I get to counter that. And Verso does have break damage limit. Okay, we're back in the game. Only just, but we are. I want to say that it's probably worth trying to hit him just in case we get a second turn. Yes, we do. Amazing. Gonna revive Minoko at the end of this one. God, we're so close. All I need to do is not absolutely beef it if he attacks all three of them. Okay, cool. He's just launching masks. Okay. In this case, we may have a chance. Although all Mael can do really is shoot once. And then maybe go for an energy on Verso. Well, the Verso gets a ton of energy anyway, but I think he probably needs more. That's a counter. Yeah, baby! Haha! Love that. That's a ton of XP as well, oh my goodness. And we have level 20. Wait. Weapons can go above level 20? Oh. Oh, that is a possibility I had not considered, actually. That's a weapon for CL with A scaling. I just assumed level 20 was max level because that was where you stopped unlocking abilities for them. But that's a fully maxed out weapon in terms of abilities. This all just looks like gibberish to me right now because I'm not processing it, but we'll take a look at that one another time. It's getting late here. Also, Minoko just didn't have a third Pictos that entire fight. Wow. So yeah, we've done that. We have 2 Grandiose Catalysts, which means we can actually level up 2 of our weapons to level 20 now. That was well worth doing. Okay, Mael's getting close to max might. We want max might for Minoko as well. Lune's luck is going to go up to 79%, which is big. I don't think anyone has any skills that they can learn yet, except CL can maybe learn this, but I want to save up for some of her more expensive skills. Okay, upgrade weapons. Because this is genuinely huge. Dueliso gets base attack has 4 perfection. And yeah, we can level them to level 21. And Mael gets in Virtuo stance burn deals double damage. Which is huge if we use the double burn ability we gave her. But no, genuinely amazed that stuff can go above level 20. Kind of makes sense when you consider the damage threshold characters are expected to be at for some of the optional fights, from what I've heard. But that's amazing. And, oh, so happy we did that. I think we can wrap up the stream there now that we've successfully beaten that boss. Because it's late here, and I'm going to get an evening cuppa before going to bed. I've got to do the podcast tomorrow. I don't know if there's anything else to do in this area, because it seemed like we did shoot all the crows, and then there's just that optional boss. That seemed to be kind of like the Abest cave. But it's funny that it's still showing the danger portal when we handily beat that. I say handily, it took like 10 tries, but pretty good, all things considered. I'm going to camp real quick. To collect Nevron feet, Minoko must be in the party. Funny that.
Who's going to upgrade our Pictos now?
Us.
I can do it.
Yeah, Mael can do it at the flags now. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. Alright, folks. We will end things here at camp. We'll just touch the flag here, and that's where we'll wrap stuff up. Because we need to rest and recover some of those healing supplies. And also, freaking incredible that we can upgrade our weapons beyond 20. I wonder what the max level for a weapon is. That's something else to consider. Yeah, wild. We have 6 more Color of Lumina to spend. But we'll leave everyone at 105. I think that works. And we're going to wrap up and raid somebody. So I don't normally get to raid people this late. I'm not sure who's online. I'm sure everyone has had a lot of fun watching MCC and stuff today. But we'll see who among our friends is ready for a raid. Oh, I tell you who we'll raid into. I'm going to send you folks over to Tulok the Barbarian, who is currently playing Elden Ring Night Rain. Tulok is one of the guys who I might end up squadding up with at some stage. Let me just check that I've spelled that right. Yep, looks good. Okay, go say hi to Phil for me. You can use your Pixel Hype emotes in the hashtag PixelRaid. Maybe catch me and Phil playing Elden Ring Night Rain sometime, hopefully later this week. But he's playing Night Rain right now, so go say hi from me. And I'll see you guys again soon. Probably back on Tuesday for more Minecraft and probably more Clair Obscur, but we'll try and squeeze in a Night Rain stream at some point this week, if not sooner. All right, have a good one, folks. Take care. Good night. Bye for now.